Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Fortnite tips and tricks video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to get more solo wins, and in specific, I'm going to be honing in and talking about 5 tips on things that I've noticed recently that fit the meta and right now basically the atmosphere in Fortnite that will allow you to, if implemented correctly, get more solo wins in this game. The background gameplay is of course with this brand new skin that just came out today. Absolutely love the back bling on this skin, and I think it's one of those skins where every time they do skins with wings on the back, they just keep getting better and better and better at decorating the wings and stuff. So I really do like this skin, but this is just like nothing special, but I think it's like a 10 kill win that I got earlier today. But I want to hone in and talk about these specific tips. If you guys could drop a like on this video, I know you guys always support the channel and always support the tips and tricks videos. I really do appreciate it. Let's go for 750 likes. That would be amazing if we could hit that. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and not already subscribed. I would appreciate that as well. It's truly been a blessing how fast this channel's grown, and that we're on the road to 600k. I really do appreciate that, and I'm very, very excited about that. All right, let's get right into these 5 tips, and let's go in depth and talk about them. Now, I'll start off with basically the saying about the tip, because these are ones that I came up with. I wrote some notes on them, and then I'll go more in depth. All right, so the first tip is for more solo wins to understand your landing. Now what this means is to basically have an understanding of, if you think of the map and the overview of Fortnite as sort of a playing board, you know, and think of that as a playing board. If you have a total control over that, if you understand the bus routes and how to land and how to get to certain places faster and what to expect when you're there. For example, basically some early things about this would be understanding how to land faster, which I made a video about that like way long ago, but basically, you know, how you look down and you look up and you get your landings in there quicker. You want to land before other players, so you can get to the weapons before. Also understanding where you're landing. If the bus is going right over Tilted first thing, of course it's going to be packed at Tilted. If it's going right over Paradise first thing, Paradise is going to be the place to go to get more kills. If you want to not get kills and go for the win, of course if the bus is going over Paradise, you probably want to land way far away from that, like Junk Junction or Snobby Shores or something like that, far away from the start of the battle bus where most people drop, is where you would get less action and go towards the win. So basically understanding your landing means dropping based on what you want to do. If you want to go for kills, of course Tilted Towers, Paradise, Salty, there's a bunch of places like that. If you want to go for wins, the factories, Junk Junction, Haunted Hills, Fatal Fields is one that I used to like going there a lot, but it seems like that's getting a little more packed nowadays too. I'm not sure why, but more people are landing there because it's closer to the bus route. People do not like to stretch, and if you're willing to stretch and basically fly across the map, you know, maybe to Greasy Grove on that far side, you will sometimes get a town to yourself and come out of there in like a top 20 with insane loot on the way to get basically free victory royales, as long as you can clutch up in that last sort of situation. All right. Next tip is to understand the importance of guns on the ground and what you're going to rank. Now, this is a quick tip for basically, because there's so many different variants of guns. There's SMGs, there's P90s, there's double pistols, there's a pump, there's a tac, there's a double barrel, there's a heavy shotgun. There's so many different combos of ARs and stuff. You basically need to understand where you rank certain things. Do you take the gold burst over the gold scar? Do you take the silenced scar over the normal scar? Do you take a double barrel over a heavy? Speaking of double barrel, I think double barrels are truly a key right now. The ability to just be, you know, on the defense, have someone completely pushing you, be boxed in, and let them push close to you and control that engagement because you have that double barrel to pop them real quick with those 2 shots is absolutely insane. I think those are a key to winning as well. But basically understanding why you value weapons over other ones and not taking long looting and not sort of debating, just knowing what you do. If you watch pro players, they'll run over the loot. If they see a weapon, they know instantly they're going to drop it, but they never really debate because they know the order of how they rank things in different certain situations, and that's something that you should do too. And I think that's a big key that's sort of underrated, because fast looting and having the right weapons is actually a major part of this game. Having the right inventory can be the key basically between winning and losing. Just decide if you're taking that chug jug or taking those 350 pots. That can literally be the difference right there of the game. So understand that is very important. My next tip, which I think is very valuable right now, is to, you know, back in the day, how you could judge players based off their skins. You know, if you saw an Omega, it was probably a really good player. If you saw John Wick, it was probably a really sweaty player. If you saw a Rust Lord, it might be more of a newbie player or a default skin. Well, where we're at the end of Season 5, going to Season 6, my tip here is to never, ever judge players based off their skins. most of these people running no skin nowadays, it's sort of like a trend, are very good players themselves. I saw someone running the PS4 free pack skin, like the original one, the other day. I thought it was going to be a newbie player. Turned out to be a super duper good player, and it was an intense fight. So you basically don't judge players off of their skins. Sometimes you do have to judge players to understand, how long you can take on that fight. If they're not so good of a player, do you drop down on them, different stuff like that. But the way to judge players, if you need to do that, which you probably should stay away from, but I understand why you have to do it, like in certain situations, like I just said, I would say do it based off the speed that they build. That's a better characteristic. When you shoot at someone, how fast do they build those walls? Something like that can just tell you, do they reinforce their walls? Do they edit? Little stuff like that can tell you the type of player you're going up against. But skins, as far as Judgment, I really don't think those work anymore. It's not the same as it used to be, and a lot of people are just decoying with that because there is a lot of people sweating on Fortnite for solo wins nowadays, and that's what I would say for that. Coming in at number 4 with the tip, the next tip is to relate to gliders, and I wanted to talk about this because, of course, I do a lot of tips and tricks videos, and you'll notice the tips in this video are a little bit unique because basically I wanted to do stuff that applies to right now, and I think this is important because I see a lot of people, loving the new glider, and I bought the new glider as well, which is the basically the blue eyes white dragon thing. It's absolutely crazy. People are saying it's from different things. Some people say it's blue eyes white dragon. Some people say it's from Game of Thrones. Some people I saw saying it's from something else I forgot. But people are saying all sorts of things. But like that, like a hot rod, like the big bear or the big dragon, the original dragon, the red one, that were gliders. Those gliders, while they are cool and fun to use, and I like to buy them as well, if you're actually trying and you're trying to get more solo wins, having those big loud gliders is actually a big it could be a big deficit for you, for the fact that in Fortnite nowadays, of course, you're going to use your glider multiple times per game. It's not like the old game as well. You're going to use it off the start. You're probably going to get a jump pad. Then you're going to get a porter rift. Then you're going to go into real rifts and use a couple of those. And then another jump pad late game or something like that. You're going to pull out your glider multiple times in this game. And if you have a glider that's literally like that dragon is probably compared to an umbrella, which is what I run, and that's probably the try hard. If you want to try hard, I recommend running like an umbrella because it's pretty small and hard to see. But the difference between that and the dragon, it's probably 10 or 20 times the size of that. Plus, it makes louder noises when you're porter rifting in on players who may not have their sound on the max volume or different stuff like that. They're gonna hear you coming in on that with that. Plus, it's gonna be way easier to spot you out of the sky from a distance and hit shots on you because of that glider. So it may seem like something small, and it is, but when I'm giving serious tips right here, this is something to consider, and it's a reason why. Another reason is because when I porter rifted, when I was using that big blue dragon one, I could barely see around it to spot enemies. So I just switched off to the umbrella for now. Of course, those gliders are fun to use sometimes, but when you're really in try-hard sweat mode, I think running something like an umbrella, while it may be a small feature, it actually can have a big difference in today's Fortnite game because you probably are up in the sky, up to maybe 5 or 10 times a game. Coming in at the number 5 tip is to always cover your sides, even on quick up rushes where you plan to stop for a second or even just stall for a second and shoot. There is so many people nowadays that are using these great snipers like the heavy sniper, and then of course the normal bolt action, even any of the snipers, even the semi-auto or the hunting rifle. Those are pretty much all going to kill you with one shot to the head, right? And there's a lot of people that like to third-party fights, and when I third-party a fight, I sort of run in there and try to fight with them and try to steal both the kills. A lot of people like to sit back and try to get those free sniper shots into third party, and I've been killed so many times over the last couple days just pulling up on someone, doing a ramp rush, reinforcing my ramp, stopping for a second to get some shots in on the person in front of me, and getting sniped from either my left, from behind me, or from the right, which would be absolutely terrible. And it's happened to me so many times just stopping for a second. Of course, if you're building like a base, you're gonna cover your walls all around you, but my tip is, nowadays with so many people using these super strong snipers, make sure to always cover your sides. Even if you're going to rush up, if you're going to stop or stall for even a second to shoot people, just put a ramp quickly on each side and then take those shots. It'll just help make that sniper shot a little bit harder for them and keep you reinforced and avoid those deaths, because even if they don't kill you, a body shot can completely kill all of your extra heals that you're carrying, or if you're not carrying extra key heals, then you could be even in more trouble. So those are 5 quick tips that I think could really help you guys get more solo wins. There's some that I'm trying to implement into my gameplay a little bit more. I'm telling you guys, understanding the map, understanding your inventory, and using that double barrel. I see so many people, so many of my friends saying, I don't know how I feel about the double barrel. Trust me, guys, it only works if you're right beside them. So if you're a good builder and you can get right next to them, that gun is absolute punishment nowadays. I absolutely love it. You guys see me using it in this gameplay right here. And of course, late game, I rotate, I get the zone on the next player, and it's an easy gunfight. Thanks for watching, guys. Smack that like button, subscribe if you guys are new. Have a great night, and I'm out. Peace.